Welcome back to Only Talk Sports. So we talk sports every single day, or at least we try to. I'm Ernest Jeffrey. Subscribe to the channel if you like sports content. Hit that notification bell so you never miss our video. It is everybody's favorite time of year in the NFL. It is Super Bowl 58 time with the San Francisco 49ers and the Kansas City Chiefs. These two teams, they played each other in Super Bowl 53, and that was Patrick Mahomes' first ever Super Bowl, and he was able to win over Jimmy Garoppolo and the San Francisco 49ers that year. And then Kansas City, they made it back to the Super Bowl, lost to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. But then this past season, you have Patrick Mahomes knocking off the Philadelphia Eagles. So if he could beat the San Francisco 49ers in this Super Bowl rematch, Patrick Mahomes could get his third ever Super Bowl win. And the 49ers with Brock Purdy, he's trying to look for his first ever Super Bowl win. I'm going to preview and predict whether I believe that San Francisco or Kansas City is going to win Super Bowl 58. So let's get into it. Both of these teams had great seasons. San Francisco went 14-5. Kansas City is 14-6. But how they got here is different because San Francisco started out 5-0. Then they hit a 3-game skid. And then after that, they did have a couple more bumps along the way. But they started playing Super Bowl football the further and further the season went along. But then they did suffer that setback to the Baltimore Ravens where Brock Purdy threw 4 interceptions and they got absolutely annihilated. But other than that, they've looked pretty solid. But in the playoffs, in their wins over the Green Bay Packers and the Detroit Lions, they haven't played too well, but they've been getting the job done. And that's why they're here in the Super Bowl. You got to survive and advance. And with Kansas City, they started out very poorly. They were losing games left and right. And then Taylor Swift, with the Travis Kelce stuff, she got in the picture, and a lot of Chiefs fans went crazy saying that she's the reason that the Chiefs had their turnaround. I don't believe that. I made a short talking about it earlier this week that I do not believe that Taylor Swift is the reason the Kansas City Chiefs are in the Super Bowl. I know a lot of people are saying it just for fun, but it is not true. The reason that the Chiefs are in the Super Bowl is because Patrick Mahomes is a really good quarterback, and the team figured things out as the season went along. Andy Reid is a really good coach, and it all came together when it mattered most. As they always say, it's better to lose early. Kansas City was losing early, and they had that terrible loss to the Las Vegas Raiders on Christmas Day, but they got their act together, and they've gone on a big winning streak down the stretch of the season and into the playoffs, and they've looked better than the San Francisco 49ers have in the playoffs so far, which is probably why a lot of people are picking them to win. This game is in Las Vegas in Allegiant Stadium, so you know there's going to be a lot of San Francisco 49ers fans at the game, but Kansas City fans, they'll make the trip. The 49ers have a 59.4% chance to win, according to the ESPN FBI predictor, to the Kansas City Chiefs 40% chance to win, and the 49ers on various betting websites are favored by anywhere from 1 to 2.5. So it's a slim favorite for the 49ers, and I believe that that is accurate because San Francisco, to me, is the better football team than the Kansas City Chiefs on both sides of the ball, especially on offense. San Francisco's offense with Brandon Ayuk, Christian McCaffrey, Deebo Samuel, George Kittle, that is an insane offense. And Brock Purdy, I know people call him a system QB, but I think Brock Purdy has proven that he is a very capable quarterback. I know a lot of people say he's just like Mac Jones, just that he has weapons. Mac Jones does not with the New England Patriots, and that might be true, but you still as a quarterback have to have good players around you to have success. We saw Tom Brady with the New England Patriots. Would Brady have been able to win all those Super Bowls if it wasn't for the fact that Bill Belichick always had the Patriots with good defenses and they had good enough players on offense, and Tom Brady being the X factor, not making mistakes, he was able to get the job done and get those Super Bowl wins. But with Brock Purdy, he's got a very talented team around him on offense. He just can't make mistakes. If Brock Purdy throws a pick or two and he has a game like he did against the Baltimore Ravens or some of the other performances this season where he has struggled, he didn't play all that well even against the Green Bay Packers, even though he did find a way at the end of the game to lead the game-winning drive. But Brock Purdy cannot make mistakes. He cannot let his youth and his relative inexperience in the NFL cost the 49ers in this game, because that's where people are picking the Chiefs. The Swifties, they're picking the Chiefs because of Taylor Swift. If you're a Chiefs fan, you're going to pick them. But everybody everybody else that is picking Kansas City to win, it's because of Patrick Mahomes. Maybe Andy Reid a bit as well, but Patrick Mahomes is the X factor for this whole entire game. Because if he plays like he has in the other two Super Bowl wins for the Kansas City Chiefs over the Philadelphia Eagles and over the San Francisco 49ers a few years ago, then the Chiefs are going to win this game again. Because he's been here before. He knows how to win in this type situation. And when you look at both the 49ers and the Chiefs stats for their offensive players, Brock Purdy had the better stats overall because of the team he had around him. But Patrick Mahomes fought through a lot of adversity with his wide receiver room, letting him down early on. Kadarius Toney, Marquez Valdes-Scantling, they were all struggling to catch the ball. But we saw Marquez Valdes-Scantling make a fantastic catch in the game for the Kansas City Chiefs against the Baltimore Ravens, which sealed that win. Isaiah Pacheco is a great running back on the ground, but he does not compare to Christian McCaffrey, who was able to win Offensive Player of the Year in the NFL. He was that good. And then Brandon Ayuk had a great season, even over Deebo Samuel in stats. Samuel had some injuries. Kelsey had a good year, but definitely some people thought it was a bit of a downgrade compared to what he usually does, but still played very well. I will say that the Chiefs' defense is very solid and underrated. I think a lot of people are starting to realize that the Chiefs' defense is a lot better, but in years past, their defense wasn't as good, and Patrick Mahomes really was the only reason they were able to win. But I believe their defense is better now, but it's still not on the level of San Francisco's. The 49ers have more talent on defense, Fred Warner, Nick Bosa, but still the Chiefs' defense is very close. Now, looking at the injury report for both these teams, the 49ers do not really have any injuries to report that are significant, whereas the Chiefs, Joe Thuney, the offensive lineman, he is out in this game, which is very tough for the Chiefs. Plus, one of their better defensive ends is also out as well because he got hurt in the Baltimore Ravens game. So I think that those injuries are significant, and they will help tilt the game a bit in the San Francisco 49ers' favor in that regard. But what makes predicting Super Bowl 58 so tough for me is when I look at both these teams, I look at the 49ers having a better football team overall, like I said before, and the fact that they are favored for that reason. But then when I look at the Kansas City Chiefs, and they have Patrick Mahomes, who's kind of starting to build that Tom Brady repertoire, where it's like, if they're going to get there, you can't bet against Patrick Mahomes, just like you couldn't bet against Tom Brady. I think this game's going to go down to the wire. Both teams' defenses are going to wreak havoc. I think both teams might have a turnover or two because of how good both teams' defenses are. But I do believe at the end of the day that Brock Purdy might make one too many mistakes, and that Patrick Mahomes is going to find a way to lead a game-winning drive at the end of the game for the Chiefs to win their third Super Bowl under Patrick Mahomes with a 28-24 win over the San Francisco 49ers in Super Bowl 58. But let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below, whether you believe that Brock Purdy, even though he is more inexperienced than Patrick Mahomes, can he lead the 49ers to a Super Bowl win with the 49ers having the better overall team, and Brock Purdy and Kyle Shanahan will be able to get their first Super Bowl win, or whether you believe that Patrick Mahomes will be able to get his third Super Bowl win with Andy Reid at head coach, and the Swifties will be very happy that the Chiefs were able to knock off the 49ers. Subscribe to the channel if you like sports content. Like this video down below. Follow me on Twitter as well. Link is in the description, and I'll see you next time.